will be the vehicle to equip you to being normal. Normal is defined by the Bible.
Now we turn to It's Supernatural.
Francis, explain what a generational curse is.
Well, the Lord told me that a generational curse, if you break up the word generation is made up of two words, gene and the word ration. He said a generational curse is a curse that's attached to the ration of genes you receive from your ancestors.
Oh, so that's interesting. The genes of your ancestors are the generational curse. Okay, and tell me how these patterns affect families.
Oh, they affect families, because when Adam and Eve fell in the garden, see, Adam and Eve were created with the DNA of God. And when they fell, they lost that DNA. And so when they lost that DNA, now from Adam onwards, since the fall of Adam, every bloodline on the planet, no matter how famous it is compromised genetics. And because the enemy has demonic pathways in the genetics, he can still afflict God's people, even when they are believers, because of what the Lord called liens, demonic liens against the DNA. And for some people, the demonic liens is spinsterhood. So no matter how beautiful the women are, they never get married. Some people, it's financial calamity. Whatever lineage is in the bloodline, connected to a ration of genes they received from their ancestors, can affect their life tremendously.
You have been shown things that I've never heard of before. For instance, where did you learn, what is and where did you learn jump the line?
Well, when the Lord came to me and visited me 4 years ago, he said to me, it is time. And I said, well, what do you mean it is time? He said, it is time for my people to experience genetic salvation. I said, God, what is genetic salvation? Genetic salvation is when the finished work of the cross is applied to the healing of my people's genetics and giving them a new genetic inheritance. So the enemy has no voice in the genetics to come against their prophetic destinies. And so he then took me to spirit, and he showed me a group of believers who were standing in front of a bloodline, but in the bloodline we're standing in front of, there was a lot of sound, like almost like a broken radio. And he said, that sound you're hearing in the blood is the sound of the iniquities from the forefathers that are fighting against my people coming into their destiny. He said, I want to silence that voice by my people receiving my genetic inheritance. He said, when I came to the planet, my blood was shed not only to forgive your sins, but to create a whole new bloodline, because Abraham made the first bloodline.
So what does someone do when you tell them to jump the bloodline? What is
the prophetic act? When they jump the prophetic bloodline, they're simply saying prophetically that they are leaving the heritage of the compromised genetics of their ancestors and jumping into the Messiah's flawless prophetic bloodline.
That sounds pretty good to me. Tell me about a businessman that did that.
We had a businessman who had 4 failed businesses and got the hold of this revelation, and in his garage, he did the prophetic act of renouncing his attachment, allegiance to his natural lineage, the corrupted lineage, and he embraced the Messiah's lineage and jumped over the line. Within about 3 weeks, he was offered $5 million for his business. Never had that happen before.
Okay, how about illness? Tell me about the woman with rheumatoid arthritis.
Yeah, there was a woman who had rheumatoid arthritis, and we asked her on a scale of 1 to 10 how bad it is. She said 20 class. Yeah, days I asked Jesus to cut off my legs. It's that bad. She could hardly walk, and getting her in a church seat was a hassle for the church, and getting her out was another hassle because everything was collapsed. Well, when she jumped the line, she could hardly jump actually. The prophetic was very difficult, but she did her best. When she jumped, within less than 50 seconds, she began to run up and down the church. The pastor was amazing.
If God could heal someone of that type of lineage, he can change the DNA of any problem that you have, not just sickness, finances, family, all of these. When you come back, I want to